Hi guys, welcome to Crypto Be 101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. And yes, the cryptocurrency market is reacting to what happened yesterday. And if you take a look at the screen, you'll see that BTC is trading at 110,000 US dollars, and it has activated our buy zone that I set yesterday or a couple of days together. So we can as well just put it as let's turn it to green, so we know that we have the buy zone being activated. So what does this mean for the market? Because you need to be ready for the biggest dump or the massive rally that I spoke about yesterday. And now we saw the Fed rate cut happen yesterday with 25 basis points. It's not really what a lot of investors wanted, because a lot of investors, they want the Fed rate cut to be at around maybe 50 basis point or even higher, because they believe the Fed is late to the party. But we saw what Jeremy Powell said yesterday, with them having 25 basis point rate cut, and that sparks a dovish pivot. So we're going to be looking at a lot of things on the show this morning, and you do not want to miss any of that. But before we move on, let's share the link so people in the community can join us and be part of what is going on this great show. We are going to join the live now. We are definitely going to discuss what we need to do with our portfolio and how we're going to navigate this 25 basis rate cut instead of what we are all expecting. Join the live now. Everyone was expecting, although I knew we're not going to have a biggest rate cut. If you watched the show yesterday, I knew the Fed is not going to give us the 50 basis point we're talking about. So this 25 basis point rate cut that we experienced yesterday is what I expect is going to happen, and I don't think that will be any issue. And you can see Bitcoin faces volatility despite rate decision, and that is true, because if you look at what happened immediately the rate happened yesterday, the market tanked even below 111, and the market tanked to around 108. But you know why I'm not really surprised we tanked to that zone? Because yesterday I told you guys that with the minor structure we are using to trade, even though we're going to have a pull-out, I told you guys to take profit at 116,000 US dollars. And I said we should wait for market to drop down into this zone, which is between 108 and 106,000. And that is why the market has dumped down there. So I expect the market to have a kind of recovery to break above and break the real structure for us to see massive rally. And if that shouldn't happen, that means we're going to see some kind of movement that will create a structure or a kicker. Maybe we're going to have another higher high around 116, 119, thereabout again. Then we're going to have a kicker that will dump the market down to below 100,000. But right now I think BTC has activated the buy zone, and you need to be ready if we're going to break above or we're going to tank more. All right, but the big news is gold on a steady decline, and is Bitcoin time to shine? That's what is really on this now. And if you look at what is happening with gold, I said it last week, or when we had that gold skyrocketing, I told you this is not the time to buy gold. If you watch my show, I said this is not the time to buy gold, because when I look at it, I found out like, okay, we have broken a structure and the market is going to tank. So if you want to get into gold back right now, you need to wait for a structure. This is not the time to jump on gold if you're an investor and a spot trader. But taking a look at BTC, you'll find out that BTC has formed a double top with our lower time frame signal, and now it has come back to mitigate another entry, which we expect the market to move ahead or drop down. Remember, the trade we are taking here is for lower time frame, not the higher time frame. So our stop loss will be based on 4-hour time frame. All right, let me share the link on Facebook as well, so people on Facebook can join us on the show. And if you've not joined the community, the links are down in the description. You can join the Discord channel, and at the same time you could join the Telegram channel as well, so you can get all these nuggets that we're dropping on this great show. So let me post the link right here for people to join us as well. It's live and direct from the studio, and you do not want to miss any of these great show that we're giving you on this platform. All right, that is shared already. Now let's go back to the chart and say what we're saying. So now what do we need to do? Because we know we've been using a minor structure to trade, because one thing you need to know, the major breakout has not happened yet, and that is above 116,000. So what we are doing is we cannot wait until major breakout. Imagine if the market is ranging between these, we need to make some money as well, and that is why we're using a lower time frame compared to the daily time frame, which is the 4-hour time frame. And now if you look at all this movement, we have moved back down, then we mitigated. So where are we going to put our stop loss in case this entry at 108 is not really okay? We're going to put our stop loss at 106,500 thereabout. So that is where I expect you to put your stop loss if you're trading BTC. You understand? Your stop loss should be around 106,500 because we're using lower time frame. But if you want to trade the bigger picture, you need to wait and stay out of the market. Let us break above 116, or let the market tank back to the low. But for now, using the 4-hour time frame just to make some money before we break out, we'll continue the downside of the market. I'll say entry is at 108, or let's say we are 108,600 thereabout, and you can put your stop loss at 106,500 thereabout. Remember, this is not financial advice, it's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research. All right, let's take a look at some other news making waves on the radar. You can now see the reason why I told you guys what is controlling the market this period is ETF. The reason why the market tanked yesterday is because we saw close to $500 million outflow in ETF. You know, I've been telling you that is the problem. This is the moment you see ETF inflow stop and the outflow start coming out, that is another signal we should be using this bull cycle. You understand? Even though it's not over yet, or we think it's close to over, but we need to stick to it that ETF is what is moving the market. You can see the moment we saw ETF outflow, the market start dumping as well. And that is not only the problem. Now we know the what will I call it? The United States president and the China prime minister, they met our president, and now you can see what is going on. US cuts tariff on China, and can Bitcoin bounce from where it dumped to? And you can see the breaking news. The President Trump announced China tariff reduction after amazing meeting with President Xi, including reduced fentanyl tariff to 10%, and overall tariff on China has now reduced from 57 to 47%. So it's a good news, I'm not going to lie, and maybe that will help the market move ahead. But like I said, entry for Bitcoin is this zone, which is around 108,000 US dollars, and based on lower time frame, because we've not broken out of the bigger picture yet. So we can just get into the market. If we are in the market, your stop loss must be around 106,000 US dollars. All right, that's that about this in. Now you can see BTC is facing a lot of volatility regarding the Fed decision that happened yesterday, and that is correct, because the truth is, if you are not a spot trader, if you're not an investor, if you're in and out trader, you'll find out that what happened yesterday might even liquidate some traders, because the market dumped so hard to below 110. But if you're a spot trader or you're an investor, you might not face that, because you'll be waiting for the major movement to happen. Like I said, anything below 116,000 US dollars, it's not really a big deal until we break above that. Yes, that will be a big deal, but for now, let's just be using the lower time frame to trade and make some money while we wait for the big breakout, or the market is going to tank more. Like I said, you need to be ready, because massive movement is coming. Either we're going to dump so hard, or we're going to rally back to the all-time high, and that would be great thing, because imagine if the market should move from 110 back to 126 or 30. That's about 20,000 point, or 25, no, yeah, 20,000 point or 15,000 point, and that is huge for you guys. That is very huge. All right, talking about rate call, Bank of Japan now holds their own rate to at 0.5% amid yen weakness and potential future hike, and that is another great news. And now 21 share 6 SEC approval for hyper liquid ETF amid rising altcoin interest. We all know that some ETF were approved. I'm talking about Solana and all of them. Even though we've not seen altcoin performing very well, but at least we are getting the ETF approved, and we're going to see how it's going to affect in the couple of weeks or months to come. Ondo also tokenized over 100 US stocks and ETF on Binance. And speaking of Binance, Binance US addresses US Senator Murphy on Trump coin promotion allegation. We all know, even CZ said he's going to sue Senator Warren yesterday regarding what is going on about the Trump backed company that launched their stable coin, and they're saying it's influence of Donald Trump and all of that, that CZ of them and all of that. So we're still going to see how that will unfold in the nearest future. And the last but not the least on the new segment of this show is European Central Bank pushes for CBD launch in 2029. That is great news. I'm not going to lie to you. That is great news, guys. And that's what I have for you on the new segment of the show. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you can always get the best of the best out of this channel. It's Crypto Be 101, the home of value and good information. And this is the only place where we trade it and we do not gamble. As you all know, this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast show. All right, you can follow me on X, on Facebook, and on TikTok as well. But right now, let's dive into the chart. But before we do that, let's check what the economic calendar is looking like today. You know, yesterday we had the rate cut, but today we'll be expecting nothing much from United States. Rather, we'll be waiting for the monetary policy data to come out of Europe around 3 p.m. SAST time. That will be around 2:15 p.m. GMT. So we need to watch out for that. And if you look at the Japan interest that dropped earlier on, they left it at 0.5%, the same rate, and that is great. No increase, neither do they decrease it. All right, let's take a look at the market cap before we dive into the chart shortly. And if you look at the market cap right now, you see we are still at 3.8 trillion US dollars and close to 200 billion trading volume in the last 24 hours. Plasma is trending, Zcash is trending, and you can see the top gainers right there. And the top 10 cryptocurrencies still remain almost the same thing, with Bitcoin at number 1, Ethereum at number 2, Theta at number 3, number 4 is XRP, number 5 is BNB, Solana at number 6, number 7 is USDC, Lido Stake at number 8, and Dogecoin sitting at number 9, while Tron still maintaining the number 10 spot. The likes of Cardona, Hyperliquid, Stellar, and the likes are below top 10. If you're also interested in knowing where your cryptocurrency sits on the market cap ranking, you might want to check that out on CoinGecko.com. All right, guys, let's dive into the main issue, which is the chart. And a lot of you want to know how or what you need to do regarding your portfolio. Like I said, the main breakout has not happened for Bitcoin because we need to break. You can see the structure. Here is the structure from 102 to 116. And now we come down here. It's not really an entry, rather an entry for what? For a lower time frame, which is the minor structure inside the major structure. So we've been using the minor structure to trade since. Remember when I told you to get in around 107 and 109, and I said take profit at 116. Now it has given us another entry at 108. Another entry has happened at 108,000 US dollars. Then we're going to see how it's going to go. So is Bitcoin a buy now? Yes, but based on lower time frame, not the major breakout on a daily. So if it is on a daily, it's not a buy yet. But on a lower time frame using 4 hour compared to the daily time frame, it's a buy. And now we've activated a buy down. We took profit at 116. Now we're supposed to get into the market again at 108, and I believe the market is going to push ahead or possibly create another breakout at maybe around 117 thereabout. Then the market will tank, or I don't know, but whatever the chart shows us is what we're going to do on this show. So BTC is a buy right now, even with what happened yesterday? Yes, because even though if you look at this structure talking about the lower time frame, you can see we have the structure, we have not broken below 106,500, and as long as we're maintaining that based on lower time frame inside the major structure, we can still take some trade just to make some profit. But if you're looking at the big picture, you need to wait for BTC to break 116,000 before you get into the market. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is not a buy yet. You can see still the same thing with altcoins. They could not break out the major structure, and they didn't create any structure for us to get in, except you want to use the lower time frame like we did for BTC. But I don't like to use that for altcoins because they move so much. All right, let's take a look at Link. If you look at Link on the other hand is still maintaining that buy that we enter since, and it has not been able to break below $15. Let's take a look at AAVE. AAV is not a buy, stay away from it. Let's take a look at Solana. Solana too is not a buy, stay away from it, except you want to trade the minor structure. But I don't really like to trade minor structure for altcoins because they move so well. I prefer the major structure for altcoins, but because Bitcoin is huge, it's expensive, sometimes you can trade the minor structure and make some money for yourself. Let's take a look at BNB. BNB is still a buy. The stop loss to remain at 850. Let's take a look at Litecoin. It's not a buy here. We broke the structure but no confirmation. That's why I put it on yellow, so we need to stay away from it. Let's take a look at Sui. Sui is not a buy, stay away from it. Let's take a look at Avalanche, not a buy, stay away from it. Let's take a look at ADA, the same thing, not a buy, stay away from it. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP actually broke the structure but no confirmation to, and that's why you can see it's on yellow, so we can stay away from it as well. Let's take a look at Toncoin, not a buy, stay away from it. SDEX is a buy. I told you SDEX is a buy. You can even see with the dump we saw yesterday, it did not hit the stop loss at 0.8. So I feel like we might just see the market rally around this zone for some time before the market will pick up, or we're going to see it dumping hard. Let's take a look at pump fund. I told you pump fund is a buy. Even with the massive dump yesterday, you can see pump fund still rally high. So where do you need to put the stop loss for pump fund? Pump fund, it has to be 0.044 right now. That's where you need to put the stop loss. Remember, this is not financial advice. It's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research and trade with the money you can afford to lose. All right, let's take a look at Ondo. Ondo is not a buy as well. You can see it's still in red dot. Please stay away from it. So those are Bitcoin and altcoins analysis. Remember, this is not financial advice, and this is for investors and spot traders. If you want to do derivatives futures in and out with leverage, you might want to join my Telegram channel and Discord channel. The links are down in the description. Now let's take a look at some of the meme tokens to see how they're reacting to this Fed rate cut decision. You can see nothing happened as well. It's not a buy for Dogecoin. Stay away from it. Shiba Inu is not a buy. Stay away from it. Pepe is not a buy. Stay away from it. Popcat is not a buy. Stay away from Tom Coin has been a buy, and I told you guys to get in at $6.6, and it's still a buy. You can see it's trading at $8 right now, and we can see our stop loss still remain at $5.5. So Trump coin is doing well amongst the meme token. Yes, Millennial coin broke out, but we didn't have confirmation. Let's see if we're going to have confirmation this week or by tomorrow. Notcoin is not a buy. Deep is not a buy. X is not a buy. Swamp has been a buy, but you can see it's been pulling down. We're hoping it's not going to break or touch the stop loss at 0.1 or 0.13 thereabout. So let's see, it's going to just touch this low, then move ahead as well. And as for gold, gold is still not a buy. Gold is still selling. Please stay away from it. When we have a structure, we can get back into gold and see what we can make from it. And you can see BTC is retracing. It's now trading at 110, but it has activated our buy zone based on 4-hour time frame, not the bigger picture. You understand? Based on 4-hour time frame, and we need to use 4-hour time frame to leave the market. So that means our entry is at 108 and our exit is at 106,500. So let's see what happened when the New York Times session open today. All right, that's that regarding the chart analysis. Let's now check what the sentiment looks like on the market. If you look at the crypto sentiment, you'll see that we are now back to fear from neutral. You can see last month it was neutral, last week fear, yesterday was neutral, and now it's fear again because of the rate decision. And if you watch my show yesterday, I told you something massive was going to happen. Either we're going to experience big dump or big pump by next week after the rate cut yesterday. And you can now see the market is moving back to fear, and market is really just adjusting within here, and we're going to see what happens with that. So the sentiment for cryptocurrency, fear and greed index is sitting at fear right now, which is 34%. Excuse me. So we need to know how the market will do. All right, guys, that's what I have for you on the show this morning. Remember, BTC is not really a buy on the bigger picture because we need to break above 116 before we can confirm we'll go back to all-time high. But right now we are just using the lower time frame, like 4 hours, to get into the trade, so we don't just see it, so we can make a little bit of some amount. And you can see I told you guys get in at 107, then take profit at 117, but now it has activated another buy around 108 based on the lower time frame. All right, that's what I have for you this morning on the show, the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show. And you all know this is the only place where we trade it and we do not gamble it. Remember, this is not financial advice. It's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research and trade with the money you can afford to lose. Until I catch you tomorrow on another wonderful packed episode of this great show, I'm Ahmed Olajmeji Kazim, aka KC, the great. Trade well, stay out of trouble, and remember, it's not how much or how many trades you take, but how much profit you make. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, and it's peace out.